Hey guys, what's up? How are you? I am so glad that today is this day because I've been wanting to go live for a while and just update on my blog and share so much more. And I do want to share this. So if you can, I'm sharing this on social media, and I am going to make sure that I share it on my personal page, that I share it on my business page, because I really want as many women as possible to see this video. And I'm going to try to have videos more frequently that talk about, topics that I'm writing about, because it's so much better, I feel, for me to be able to talk about these things, be able to connect. I think people connect better. Reading blogs is great. I love to do it, but I also love getting to know the people who write the blogs and kind of get that more personal connection to them. So I figured, why would I not do that if I like doing that? So here we are. And I am going to be talking about 3 ways that you can organically grow your network. And beginning of the year is a great time. Excuse me, I'm still trying to get over a little bit of congestion, but the new year is a great time to really start looking at not only the goals that you're setting for the year, but look at your relationships with people, look at your network, look at your friends, look at your family. How often are you connecting with them? How often are you talking to them? And how are you doing it? Because let's face it, like, we're all on our phones all the time, and it's kind of gotten out of control, at least for me, because I've started doing group messages or copying and pasting text and sending them out and not talking to people more regularly. Like, I forgot, how their voice sounded, because I'm just so used to texting and emailing and Facebook and Instagram and liking and all those things. And so it's gotten to a point where, I want to fix that. And I know that I'm not the only person who's wanting to do this. So I'm going to share with you what 3 ways you can do this organically. You're going to build stronger relationships. You're going to feel better. You'll be happier. You're going to put smiles on more people's faces. But it's very important to just reach out. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then I also want to talk about joining a women's network or any network to meet more people that you need to know, people that have so much to offer and who need to know you because you have so much to offer to them. And so those are the things that I want to talk about. The 3rd thing is going to be about going to more events, because for me, I can definitely say I hate networking events. And I should say I used to hate networking events. I don't hate them anymore, but I still get that same anxiety. Like, I have to do a whole mental preparation to go. I have to, invite other people that I know just so that I'm comfortable and not feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't know anybody. And I want for more people to feel like they know how to go into a networking event and know what kind of goals they have for going, and not just going to drink and talk to random people or try using it for dating. I mean, hey, do what you do, but that's not what networking events are for. And there's a way to go to them, and there's a way to do that. So that's what I want to share with you. So let's back up to the whole idea about not connecting with people and, using social media and using text messaging and using your devices without talking to people. And it doesn't even have to be about seeing them, but I mean, we have FaceTime, for crying out loud. So that's another way. But I want to challenge you to do that. I want to challenge you to make this a goal for yourself, even if you happen to be watching this and you don't care to network for business. Do this for your own self. Do this for your family. Do this for your friends, because it's going to make a difference in their life. And like I said, it's going to make you happier, and people will be happier. And when you check in regularly, you're keeping a closer connection. And I know life gets busy and it's hard sometimes to reach out to people, but you really should take time to, be more present and have better conversations. And something that I'm working on and constantly is active listening. I mean, when I'm talking to someone, I used to be really bad about, like, what am I going to say next? Or what do I need to tell them about me? Instead of listening to what it is they are talking about. And so I wasn't really in the conversation. I mean, we were there face-to-face talking, but there's better ways to do that. So active listening, that's something personally when having these conversations that I want to do better. And so going back to how are you connecting with people? When's the last time you picked up the phone and called a girlfriend, or picked up the phone and talked to a family member that you probably should have talked to more often? When's the last time you actually had a conversation outside of just text or liking posts on Facebook? I mean, we have to be better about those things, and that's a great way to expand your network, because you're just getting back in touch with people that you already know and see how they're doing. Ask just what's going on in your life. How is everything? And it's crazy some of the things that come up and the changes that are made. And then, you may be looking for something to do differently in your life, and you may be looking for a new career or a new opportunity or just a new hobby, something that you want to pick up. And if somebody is doing something that might be of interest to you, I mean, having that personal connection is just going to make it that much easier. Not to say that you have to have a reason to talk to people, but there's always multiple benefits. And some of them do include new opportunities or being introduced to new people that they may know. And that's a way to organically expand. The next thing that I wanted to touch on was not just for the getting back in touch with people, but connecting with more women in a women's network. And for any gentlemen, same thing. I mean, I think men already have networking. They can go to any kind of networking event. They can go to, join different groups and organizations that are for men. But I think for women, especially in business, it's very important to be part of a network, because it's not something that women are used to having. And women look around like what we have going on these days, where all these female empowerment, women empowerment, all these different movements, and they're for a reason. It's because there's been so many times where, we've realized that women have gaps in their pay in comparison to men. It's more difficult for women to move up in the ladder. And I mean, if you look in any organization, if you look around, you see, leadership positions are mostly held by men. And it's because they naturally have, the good old boys club and back in the day, and they have all these things that, women have had to kind of work to have now. And that's something that I think women's networks help with, because they're very specific, they're very targeted to helping to empower more women in business. And even if, again, for not business purposes, join, a girls group or a brunch club, because women need their girlfriends. I mean, and they need connections with other women to support them and support other women. And I can say, in my 30s, my goal is to be more involved with, helping other women and being more of a, role model or mentor to women younger than me. Because when I was, in my 20s, I ran from so many opportunities that now, in hindsight, I look back and I kick myself, because if I had just spent more time in my 20s when I was younger in my career, early, just very early in the career, starting out, I would be so much further now, and I would have avoided so much of the insecurities that I may have had starting out, being the young person in corporate positions and working in, the corporate environment, dealing with office politics and all these, email etiquette and just things that's like, I made mistakes along the way, and I still do make mistakes, but they're different types of mistakes. And if I had known better before, I'm just saying, I could be a lot further along. So that is something that I want to help other women with. And like I said, joining a women's network has been huge for me because I still learn, and I am mentored by women in the women's network. And I'm part of multiple women's networks. And I have people that, continue to mentor me, and then I can go and in turn mentor others. And I really recommend that you get a mentor. And if you don't know how to get one, you can research. There's many websites out there that kind of talk about, there's a lot of articles, and feel free to reach out to me. I would say around mentoring, not everyone is for you. So I'm not necessarily saying that I'm a good mentor for you. I could be, but if we're not a good fit, I might know somebody who's able to mentor you better. And you do that kind of in a similar way that you would pick friends, or you'd pick people that you want to spend your time with and you might admire, and there are certain reasons why. And if you decide that you want to be a mentor or mentor other people, there's a strong chance that your personalities are very similar, and your thought process and the way that you think about things and the way you do life, your approach to work, your approach to personal life, those things, because the mentors I've had, we've connected in ways, and it's been more comfortable, and it's been a better relationship, more meaningful and effective mentor relationship, because we can relate on so many things, yet we both learn from one another. And that's the beautiful thing. So I'm a big advocate of that. The last area that I want to touch on is really all about networking events. And I hated networking events. I hated them because every time I would go to a networking event, and this was, my early one. So let me talk about the early networking events. When I would go to them, I'd think, okay, let me, get some drinks, and I won't feel as awkward talking to people I don't know. And then I would end up getting a little bit too tipsy. And then in my head, I'm like, ooh, I'm too drunk to be talking to people about business. I'm going to sound like an idiot. So then, and when I drink too much, I just ramble, especially with people I don't know. I just ramble and ramble. And I know that about myself. So I was always, it was like a bust every time I'd go to a networking event. I would just basically waste my time going. And I could have just gone to a bar and sat with some friends and did the same thing that I just did there, except I wasted money getting a networking ticket and then presenting myself, in this business environment looking like the oddball that doesn't belong there. Because at the time, probably didn't belong there. I wasn't mentally there yet. I wasn't mentally or professionally mature yet. And not to say that I am completely now, but I definitely know what I should do and not do. And those are some things, early on when you go to networking events, like I said, you need to understand why you're going and have a goal. And it could be just to meet one new person that you can refer in your business, or that can help you with something personal, professional. I mean, you never know who you're going to meet at events. And in my blog, I talk about going to I've gone to networking events, but I talk about actually hosting a wine tasting event for my wine business. And I didn't have to do that. I mean, I can run my wine business completely online and over the phone. I don't necessarily, and that's the beauty of that, I don't have to be somewhere, which is why I have that business, because I want more time back. But I also wanted to kind of push myself and challenge myself to get out there more. And what better way? And then, hey, I'm bringing the alcohol. So here's the event. Come to the event. Come taste the wine. I get to check off a few boxes along the way. I'm networking. I'm promoting my business. I'm meeting new people. And I'm interacting with people. So it's like I had a lot of good reasons to host this event. And while I was at the event, I met a gentleman who happens to own a clothing company, and he asked me to be a brand ambassador. And this happened, later on, a few weeks after the event. We kept in touch. He asked me to be a brand ambassador for his clothing line, and then that was cool. And so that was a nice relationship to form there, because then I've met some amazing people from that. Additional people who are brand ambassadors, and some amazing women, and have become great friends. And so what I'm saying about this, you go to networking events, or you host your own, or whatever the case is, whatever you're comfortable doing, you're going to meet some people, and they may become really good friends of yours, and they may have opportunities for you, and you just never know how they benefit. I mean, you might meet someone that you want one of your friends to meet, that you know of a friend who is looking to make a career change, or they may have some sort of issue or problem, that you meet someone who's got the solution, who has a product, or knows or can refer them to something. There's just so many different ways to benefit from building new relationships. And it is a new year. It is a new, fresh start. I mean, we still have the jobs we have. We still have the same routines we have. We're trying to be better. I think everybody is maybe not making New Year's resolutions, but they're making some sort of announcement about like something they're going to change or do differently. And that's what New Year for me is all about. It's a new year to do something different, to step outside of the box, to get creative, or jump back into something that you stopped doing, and find whatever that is, passion that you have, reconnect with friends, just being a better you. And that's, for me, what the new year is, and here's our opportunity. So build your relationships, and improve the relationships that you have that are existing. Go to some networking events, meet new people, join networks, get a mentor, do things that can help benefit and grow you. And this doesn't have to take up your life. It doesn't have to take up a ton of time. But if you just carve out like time every month that you want to go to events, or, carve out some time to make phone calls, carve out some time to write a personalized email or a personalized message. And don't live in the doing everything in full swoop or nothing at all, but just little by little, those small connections go a long way. And I really hope that you can try this. I challenge you to just pick up the phone and call an old friend you haven't talked to in a while, that you've been thinking about, that you always think, man, I wonder how so-and-so's doing, but I haven't called her. And I was so bad about not calling people, because I'm like, well, if they want to talk, they can call me. They can reach out to me. And that's not fair, because when someone reaches out to you, like, think about how happy that makes you. Just the fact, oh, you're thinking about me. That's so sweet. Like, you could be that person for them. So do it. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But please try to get out there, network, strengthen the relationships that you already have in your life, form some new relationships with people, get out there and enjoy life. Get off the phone, get out of the texting groups, get off Facebook and Instagram. I mean, God, we can spend hours and hours on social media, and just, it's okay, but just scale back some of that time and start picking up the phone and calling people. It's crazy. I mean, the difference that it can make in your life and for them. Put smiles on people's faces. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe to my blog. I will have blog posts coming to you every Wednesday, and they are all about career development, personal growth, wine, reality TV, whatever, I throw in lots of my own sort of what I'm thinking about, or shows that I watch. I might throw some humor into that probably makes no sense to you if you don't watch some of these things. But my blog is all about growth. I want it to be fun. I want it to be informative. So please subscribe to the blog. I will post the link to that below this video. And I really appreciate you being here, and hope to see you soon. Bye.